So welcome to the post-match ITEC interview. I'm joined by coach Chris Morgan. So convincing victory, I believe it was 52-24?
26 I think Rods, but yeah,
it's close enough.
I
didn't write it down.
Down.
But no, are you happy with that result and the performance from the boys?
I'm absolutely happy with the result. We spoke about building on the performance from Coventry because we seemed a lot more like a Pirates side when we went up there and played, and expected the same from the guys today. You know, last home game of the season, what's been seems the longest and the shortest season on record, but it was a great result for us. Some of the play we can look at wasn't fantastic, but the result itself was brilliant.
I mean, as a spectacle, if I was to be perfectly honest, as a winger, it wasn't the most aesthetically pleasing game, but ultimately you look at the fundamentals and the set pieces where it was won and lost. The line-outs didn't quite function at the beginning, left a couple of opportunities in the first 10 minutes, but scrum dominance was phenomenal, and the line-outs really brought some points to the scoreboard. Yeah,
we didn't warm up particularly well, and we sort of carried that into that first 10 minutes of the game, and Hartbury started really brightly, put a lot of shots in, held guys up in the tackle, and they were really physical in that area and got that early reward. And then we were pretty fortunate probably to get Owl's intercept. You'd have enjoyed that, just run it in from that far, maybe not. But then the big boys took over, and they really put on a show, I think, in that set piece, in the scrum and line-out. We spoke about getting dominance and just seeing that through, and I think that part of the performance we can be very happy about.
We were talking about it in commentary, and Alex Amira's try, it was almost a turning point, not necessarily the turning point, but it held the momentum swing more towards the Pirates, because Hartbury came out strong and they really showed what they were about in that kind of first 5 minutes, obviously resulted in a worrying try for the Pirates early doors.
Yeah, I think for them it was pretty misfortunate. You know, everything went against us. We were pretty poor with our execution and what we were doing. Hartbury capitalised on that and scored. We managed to get down there and get that scrum and take advantage of it. But then to get the intercept was probably a real blow for Hartbury at that point, because where they were on the pitch, and that, like you said, swung the momentum from nothing really. We were 14-5 up, and from that point it was fairly good sailing for us, and Hartbury finished really strongly, and credit to them how hard they fought.
Going back to that try, it was actually very live by the sword, die by the sword, because you could see that if he hadn't caught that, it was a three-man overlap outside of him, and it could have been costly at the other end of the scoreboard.
Absolutely, it was a big swing. You know, I think it was a big, like you said, a big momentum swing in the game. If Hartbury had managed to score there, it would have been a different story for us. We'd have been right in that arm wrestle, and it could have gone another way. But fortunately, we came on top of that. We've been on the other side of that a few times this year, we've seen.
When you play rugby, you never really feel the momentum shifts as you see them when you're a spectator. And being on the commentary, something that's been highlighted to me. You look at the Ealing game, and it really swung after a couple of incidences, which ultimately costed you. But in this particular instance, once the momentum swung towards the Pirates, they really showed their clinical nature, in particular the strength from their set piece, to take the score where you need it to be.
Yeah, it's very tough like that. There's big moments in games, you know, yellow cards, penalties, instances happen, interceptions. Those things can be big moments in games to take that momentum swing, and before you know it, you find yourself 2 tries, 3 scores down, and at that point it's very hard to claw your way back into that game, because whatever you do, like we said, it can be a 7-point, 14-point swing in a game.
Hayden King, man of the match.
Absolutely,
big cheer from the bench. Is that because it's such a rare occasion a prop gets it, or I think he fully deserved it though? When you look at the cornerstone of the game was the set piece, and being a loose head prop, you are the cornerstone of the set piece.
Yeah, all of it. I think testament to Hayden. He's worked really hard, and he's had to wait a long time to get his chance to play, and this was an opportunity for him to go out there. He worked really hard in the scrum. We saw in that first half, we got a penalty try. We got a lot of dominance, and it helped us exit up the pitch, and then also the maul, and he's got a big factor in that maul about getting us across and getting it moving, and we saw the dominance we got there. So I think for him, some good shots in defence, carried the ball, he had a really good game, and I think he deserved that. Consistency
has been a theme that's been bandied around a lot in the last couple of kind of weeks for the Pirates. Obviously sometimes it's been out of control with selection, but how important has it been in these kind of last 2 or 3 weeks in regards to the results that you've been getting in particularly tough opposition?
I think consistency is something every team's striving for all the time. It's hard to find the right balance of when you're going to get it and when you get it wrong. Also, that time consistency in selection, we have to make the decisions for opportunity for certain people. Sometimes we have to manufacture that opportunity to give them it, and we've probably learnt some lessons around there this year about what we did at times there, and it may have cost us. But I think the guys overall, their consistency in training, how they show up every day, has been really good. And I think now, fortunately, we said from that Coventry game it sort of turned a moment and looked more like a Pirates team of what we feel we should be. And I think today again to set piece and go out and get that game, get a grip of it after a really slow start was fantastic for the guys.
I was most impressed with the fact that there was a couple of kind of functional errors in the line out, which I've obviously mentioned, but it was the ability to make them good, which again really did swing in the favour of the Pirates. But I mean, that was the last home game of the season. You've got one more round for you guys.
Yep.
Where do we go from here now? What are the aspirations? What are you looking to achieve? Obviously, I think you've got another week off next week, haven't you?
So our week next week's our bye week, so we've got no fixture. It's a big chance for us to reset and really focus on that last game against Jersey. A chance for us to finish the season strongly, how we started, to say goodbye to some people, and really enjoy ourselves, make the most of this journey that this season's been.
Obviously, once the season finishes, that's when the real business starts for you coaches, isn't it? But what's your synopsis of how this curtailed season has been, and what you might have set out to achieve, and what is actually where you're eventually going to finish? How have you felt it's been as a club?
Firstly, I think it's a fantastic effort from everyone involved to get us on the pitch and get this team all the way through that whole pandemic. Testament to Dickie Evans and to Paves and Gav for keeping the squad together, doing everything they could to maintain as many people through that period, keep the guys training, keep the guys motivated. And then we saw what all that came to fruition in that first game against Sarries, for all that curtailed training we'd had and all the obstacles that had been put in our way. Like many people, the guys turned up and played really well. Unfortunately, from that point, we didn't manage to kick on, and we sort of, it masked us a little bit, our performances after that. But we had opportunities, and we could have done better in that areas. But I think the success for us has been to get back on the pitch, get going, keeping this group together, and finishing now as strong as we can.
So it's a shame those Doncaster and Ampthill results. It's 2 games, and in the course of a normal season, you can slip up 2 times and you can get away with it. But it's the shortened version that's really highlighted that it's possibly a missed opportunity. But as a Cornish Pirates fan, if we can get that 3rd spot, I think that's a fair result and a fair reflection of where we possibly are as a club off the back of the pandemic and what we're looking to achieve moving forward.
Absolutely, I think it's tough, isn't it? Like, we're sort of, everyone from the start of the year said we're all chasing Ealing and Sarries, and that 3rd spot's the spot we're going for. But we put ourselves in a position after that first game to go for it, and unfortunately, we also put ourselves in a position where we weren't in it anymore. So I think we do everything we can now, and all we could do is go out and win every game. And Jersey's next for us, so big focus on getting over that island and getting the points.
Absolutely, there'll be a different beast as to the team you played down here, though. They did slip up today away.
Yeah.
Struggled against Coventry.
Yeah, I don't know if they're away or at home now, because I think they played all their games, so they're all on the island. That's it. And it's a really tough thing to do, because you've got to go in and out on the island on one day. We saw how their performances at the start of the season probably weren't as good as they could have been, but that's a lot to do with the factor of them having to travel every week and get in and get out. So it's going to be a tough ask, but definitely one the guys are capable for.
Say Coventry did the job on them today, though. So,
Absolutely.
well, no, mate, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks,
this is
Rod.
obviously my last post-match ITEC interview, so you'll be more relieved than anyone else, having been through it twice. But no, mate, thank you very much for your time. Obviously, good luck for the remaining fixture, and hopefully, we can get that 3rd spot and kick on from there next season.
Yeah. Thanks, Rod. It's been a pleasure.
No worries. Cheers.